Hi, my name is Teresa Kovlak, and today we are going to be making some bubbles. So the bubbles that I made here today, I did this on a Yupo paper, and the color choices that I picked today are red, white, and blue because it is the 4th of July week. So let me get these out of the way and we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to use pitch black for alcohol ink for our base color, so that'll be our background. And what I'm using is the Yupo cardstock. This is made by Ranger or made for Ranger, and you can pick this up at Joann Fabrics or Michael's. And I believe they also carry that at Hobby Lobby. So we have a piece of paper here, our Yupo paper. We're going to be using our jelly roll for doing the accents, and I already mixed up some ink. So this is pitch black and it is in some alcohol, and so just give it a good little mix with the end of your paintbrush, and then you can just clean that off on a paper towel. So we're just going to pour this on. And take our fan brush or whatever brush you'd like and just pull it to your edges. Now when I do the circles or the bubbles, I do have a lot of ventilation, so you definitely make sure you have a lot of ventilation where you are. Alright, we got that over pretty much the whole area. We're going to give it a quick little blow. We don't want to dry it down all the way, but we want to dry it down a tiny bit. Oops, my paper's flying away there. Bring that back into the camera. Now the gun that I was using, the heat gun, was not a regular heat gun. It's a blow dryer. This is made by Conair. And this actually has a little attachment at the end where you can curl your hair. It works good on the Yupo paper because you just got to be careful when you're using the Yupo paper, not that you warp it, because it is, Yupo is made out of plastic. You can warp it if you put too much heat on it. But we are going to put a little bit of heat on this because I put a little too much ink on it, and we'll just dry it down a little bit more. Alright, so you don't want to dry it all the way. If you dry it all the way, then you're defeating your purpose because you won't be able to put your cups on and get your circles. So what I'm going to do is actually dip this in a tiny bit of alcohol, and I wipe the bottom down with a paper towel. So I basically just take it and wipe it on the paper towel and then put it on where I'm going. And the reason I'm doing this with these ones compared to my other ones is because I have the black a little bit thicker and I want to get a nice ring around there. And definitely make sure you dry it off. If you don't dry it off, it'll spread like crazy. So definitely want to dry it off. There will be enough alcohol up above that comes down. And I just use an assortment of glasses. And I tried to have them so that they have a heavier base to them. So the glasses that you see me using have a thicker base here, so it sets tighter to the paper. And I'm just giving it a little turn, checking on how they're doing. I'm going to bring the blow dryer in here and blow it down a little bit more. And now I'm going to grab my heat gun, because when I lift the glass off, I want to put a little hot air underneath it so that it dries a little faster. Alright, so I don't want to get this too hot because I don't want to warp my paper, so I'm going to come back in with that blow dryer. Alright, so you see on this painting how I have some of the bubbles that overlap, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And so there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can take and you can put a cup down and take your little gel roller and put your circle around it, which we are going to accent our pieces like that. But as long as our ink isn't totally dry, we should be able to dip in to our alcohol and put our cup on. As long as our alcohol isn't too dry, it should pick up the circle. Our alcohol ink, our background there. So I'm just kind of pressing down and spinning it, and you can see we got our circle. So I'll just do a little bit more, and I'm happy with that. And then we'll put one more, maybe like right in here, maybe a smaller one. So I'm going to dip that into the alcohol again. And actually, I think I'm going to put one right here. And the nice thing about having the clear glass is you can see through it, so you can decide if you want another bubble or not. So I'll go ahead and put one more right there. So I'm just kind of pressing down and spinning my cup a little bit. And I'll go with that circle. That's a good one. And our last one is right here. And that'll work. So let me pull that paper towel out. And I'm going to dry this down just a little bit more. So it's actually best to work on a dry, let it dry for a little bit and work on a drier piece. Even though the alcohol ink dries really fast, you need it really dry to be able to put on your accent. So this is how I outline my bubble with the jelly roller. And I will leave that, any gel pen will work. So I'll leave that in the description box below. So you want to just put an outline on that. So I have one here that's a little bit drier, and we're going to go ahead and use this just so we speed up the process a little bit. So as you can see, I went through and I highlighted my spots there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my accent colors. And I'm just going to accent on my bubbles. I have to remember what ones are behind and what ones are forward. I'm just putting some little accents on. So when the bubbles are bouncing in the air, just kind of floating on by, you can see little shimmers on them. So you gotta remember what bubbles are forward and what ones are back. So you don't necessarily have to do your bubbles in black. The reason I did is I wanted the background so I could have the red, white, and blue for the foreground. Just because it's 4th of July weekend, I thought it'd be fun. So you're just adding little accents in, a little bit of color. It would be picking up reflection as it's going through the sky. So these are going to be my 4th of July bubbles, picking up the fireworks. And turn your paper how it is most comfortable for you to do it. If you want to do it all facing one direction, you can do that. Facing one direction, you can do that. Now when you are doing this, the acrylic pens don't dry super fast, but they dry pretty fast. You just have to be careful that you're not putting your hand in the ink or in the paint. And put a little more white in there. And just kind of decide where you'd like your colors. Bubbles can have all kinds of reflections in them. So you can see where I touched on it was still a little wet. It's fine, just wipe off your brush and keep going, or your pen. So I hope this will help you make some bubbles of your own. And I would love to see some of your work. Put this under here. And we can see our bubbles a little bit better. So you can add more reflections or less. It's your painting and you can do it however you like. I am on Facebook and Instagram. You're welcome to follow me. And I would always love to see some of your work. If you'd like to tag me on Facebook, that would be great. So let me know what you think. You can leave a comment down below, or better yet, subscribe and hit the like button, and that lets me know that you'd like to see some more of these pieces, and I would certainly appreciate that. So again, my name is Teresa Kovlak. Thank you for joining me, and I certainly hope you have as much fun with your bubbles as I've had tonight with mine. And a happy 4th of July if you're watching this during 4th of July. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy bubbles and making your own. Thanks so much for joining me. Again, my name is Teresa Kovlak. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook under my name. And happy painting to you.